Okay, well, happy Thursday morning to you all. I'm headed out for a work commute this morning. I've got a long day ahead of me. I'm going to be over in the Heights area this morning, then back toward my office, then down in Stafford for the rest of the day, probably until about 9 tonight. So it's a long day. I was going to do a little more recording today, set up a camera on the rear of the bike and all that, but I've just run out of time this morning. And I've got my overstuffed little Viking swing arm bag here. I'll go into that later, but let's just suffice to say that the buckles inside it are a pain in the butt. They use up too much of your space in there, so it does not work out very well. I'm going to have to zip tie that thing on. Get rid of the big clunky buckles. I've got a very small little Logitech webcam in there right now that I'm taking over to a customer site. They've got a important meeting this morning and they needed a good webcam, so I grabbed one for them, and I thought, yeah, I'll be able to put that in that triangle bag. Yeah, right. Good luck. It's a pretty small little bag as it is, but when you consider the buckles in there, they're right in the first third and the second third of the usable space, and they stick out like this. They're like inch and a half square. They're huge. I think it's only 3 inches wide, so it really chews up your usable space. So bag is good, buckles suck. Straps, I should say. Straps and buckles. Oh well. Nothing, little Gorilla Tape to patch up the old holes, and some creative hole punching for some zip ties won't fix. Didn't check my fuel. Yeah, good. Yeah, I was planning to do the suspension zip tie test today. I just ran out of time because when I do that I want to set up the cameras and show you kind of how that works and what it does. Essentially, you're just strapping a zip tie really tight on your fork legs. Oops, I guess it's still a school zone. Shouldn't be doing 27 now. You strap up a zip tie on your shock pistons, you know, the rod, and on your fork, and what happens is when the suspension compresses, it's going to move that zip tie down. You want it tight enough that the zip tie doesn't just float around by itself, but it's not going to damage the suspension or your seals or anything like that. It's just going to scoot it out of the way. The trick is to look at your travel limit, you know, kind of where you're ending out, to find out if you're bottoming out or if you're not using nearly enough of your suspension. If you're not using enough, then you can always increase your spring preload. Or sorry, you can reduce it. If you're using all of it, then you need to increase your spring preload. So anywho, I just haven't done it yet. I need to go through and see kind of where it's sitting on its usage of the very limited travel that's available. It's only got 3.7 inches in the back. The front's not so bad. I think it was 4.6, 4.7 inches, something like that. The front's pretty reasonable. But the rear is pretty short for throw, and it's quite stiff. Well, I don't know if it's stiff. I'll say it's harsh. How about that? So my plan when I do that little test and demonstration is I'm going to put one of the suction cup mounts for the GoPro on the rear fender. I think it's flat enough. I'm not quite sure yet. It's got a curve to it, obviously, but I think there's a flat enough surface that I can get that suction cup to stick on there. And I'll put an arm and crane the camera looking in over here at the shock to see kind of where the travel is. I don't really want to put one of the permanent adhesive stickies on there because getting those things off is a pain in the butt. Weather's nice today. 66, 67 degrees out here. Pretty humid. It's like 90% humidity right now, but we're supposed to have a nice day in the 70s, I think. Mid 70s, something like that. Clear, variable clouds, whatever. should be pretty nice. Unfortunately, I won't be out pleasure riding today. Just gotta keep my nose to the grindstone and get some jobs done for my customers. I've been a little lax this week. Need to stay as productive as possible because I've got to get enough momentum and enough of a cushion that I can afford to take off for pretty much the entire month of July for the scooter Cannonball. I'll be working from the road as time permits, but the best I can do is talk with people on the phone or remote in at night or something like that. Can't do much while I'm riding. How low can you go? 1 mile per hour, still upright. Haven't put my feet down yet. Oh, now I have to. I was trying. 1 mile an hour is about as slow as it'll get. I just wrote a reply to a viewer of the channel. He asked what my opinion was, whether the Ryker or the Rebel DCT would be a better learner bike, beginner bike for someone in retirement age. He said that he doesn't really want speed. He just wants to be safe on the road, you know, and just kind of cruise. So that's a tough question to answer. It really depends on whether you want to lean in corners or not, or if you just want to sit there. Obviously the Ryker is not going to lean in corners, but you do have to lean your upper body. So you're constantly, you know, hanging off the sides of the bike to counterweight the inside wheel. That makes the Ryker not completely ideal for older people, and I don't say that in a bad way. It's just, you know, laws of nature. As you get a little older, you know, your physical stamina goes down, joint problems, arthritis, anything like that. The Ryker is very physical, and it requires a lot of rider input. You've got a whole lot of, you know, upper body jockeying and strength that you have to throw into it to maneuver the bike. So that kind of pushes me toward the Spider F3 series for somebody that wants a relatively, you know, sporty kind of three-wheeler. The F3 is probably going to be the better answer because it's got power steering, it's heavier, it's going to have better highway manners, and a whole lot less upper body input. You do still have to lean, but not as physical as the Ryker. So as far as the Rebel DCT goes, if you don't mind leaning and you know, put your feet down and all that, then yeah, the DCT is fantastic because you're not messing with the extra motor memory and physical coordination of smooth clutching, shifting, gear selection, you know, keeping all that in your head, listening to the engine to figure out if it's in its happy place or not lugging the motor, you know. So in that respect, the DCT is really, really good. There are only a couple of little caveats that I have kind of against the DCT for beginner riders, and that's the abrupt downshifts in second gear, you know, coming around a corner or something like that. But it's, like I said before, it's not a showstopper. It's just something that you've got to be cognizant of as you're entering a corner. If you're still slowing and you haven't gotten down to second gear yet, the bike is probably going to shift down to second gear, and when it does that, it, you know, it decelerates and you tip in more toward the apex than you thought. And an inexperienced rider, that might cause them to clip a corner, you know, touch a curb, something like that. So just something to watch out for. I think I got my helmet all the way close. Yeah, but anyway, both of them would be fantastic. Of course, for either one, I recommend wholeheartedly you take the rider's course for, you know, the MSF course, obviously, for just basic road rules and safety and how to operate a motorcycle. For the Can-Am Learn to Ride course, it's only 99 bucks, and it certifies you in most states for a three-wheel license. And it's a lot less involved. It's not quite as in-depth as the MSF basic rider's course, because there's less to do on the reverse trike. You know, you sit there, you lean in the corners, and you kind of learn how to maneuver it, handle it in the class, but it's simpler. So anyway, the biggest deal about the Learn to Ride course is it gives you seat time on the three-wheelers to see if they are going to work out for you or not before you plop your money down. I mean, yeah, you got to pay $100 for the course, but not you know, $10,000 or $15,000 for a bike that may or may not work for you. So the benefit there is most of those schools are going to have the Rykers, they're going to have the F3s, they're going to have the RTs. You can pick which one you want to ride, hopefully, and if they're really nice, they might let you switch through the course, switch midstream to get some seat time on the different ones. But that would be a great opportunity to try out the Ryker versus the F3 or something like that, because the feel is totally different. They're not the same animal at all. The Ryker's manual steering, go-kart steering, is very stiff. You know, it's very physical, and every bump that you hit on the road translates straight through to the bars, and it jacks your arms around. The F3 and the RT have power assist steering, so that is damped a lot by the rack and pinion and the hydraulics of the system. So totally different feel. I would say between the Ryker and the F3, the obvious choice between those two is, do you plan on doing a lot of highway touring or, you know, longer trips? If the answer is yes, then the F3 is definitely the better choice. The Ryker, you know, I take mine all over the place. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'll do anything, but it does require a lot of effort to manhandle that thing over a long trip. A lot of focus too. You can't really sit back and enjoy the ride. You've got to be on top of that thing all the time. Now, I-10 is jacked this morning. What the? A lot of haze or smoke or fog or whatever's going on here. Okay. I'm going to play with these guys. I'm just going to sit there and stare at each other's door handles on the way. Cars stacking up behind me. I'll never understand that, why people like sitting right next to each other in traffic. Move! If you're going the same speed as the guy to your right, get behind it. Man, what is going on in the main lanes today? It's just a river of steel. It sucks. But I'm not sitting in that. That's one of the main reasons why I commute by motorcycle here in Houston, is you get to take the HOV lanes and the toll lanes, usually for free, depends on the time of day. But you're not sitting in that crap. Even when it's not free for HOV users, riders, whatever, I'll usually pay the extra couple bucks just so I'm not sitting in that crap. One, it's a giant time vampire. Two, it's a lot more dangerous, especially on a motorcycle, because you have all the lane jockeying and people making stupid decisions and staring at their cell phones instead of the car in front of them. I choose to stay away from them. It's cost me an extra buck or two. Hey, money well spent. Less stress, less risk. I need to call Honda today, or Wild West, and find out if any of my parts have arrived. I won't be able to pick them up today. I'll go tomorrow. So, booked full today. I'm not going to be back out toward that side of town until late tonight. The wind is pretty light today. I'm kind of enjoying it. It's not beating me up. Without a windscreen on this thing, it's quite a challenge to hang on at 70, 75 miles an hour with wind in your face and going into the wind, obviously. There's not much wind today. Come on, clear the lane, dopey. If you like the speed those guys are going, get over there. Man, I-10 is a mess this morning. What's going on? I mean, it's normally busy. It's not this busy though. Guy speeds up when I try to go around him.
Oh, the pollen today. Oh my god, the last 3 days have just been sneezy, snotty, itchy. It's killing me. I'm taking my antihistamines, but there must be a new breed of pollen in the air this year. I went out for a ride on this thing 3 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, and I went through an area that had a lot of dust and stuff on the road, and I was following behind a big truck, and he was stirring all this crap up, and I don't know if it was fresh lawn clippings or what, but within like 30 seconds my eyes just bugged out. They were burning, I couldn't see, they were watering. I was like, oh man, this is bad news. I had to stop off the side of the road and just sit there and rub my eyes for a minute, try to clear it out. Didn't help. I had to get my allergy eye drops out to the cause. I normally carry eye drops and basic necessities and stuff like that in my tank bags, but of course this bike does not have a tank bag. Yet. I'll put one on there eventually. I was thinking about having a tank bra made, leather or something like that, just cover up the tank and have molly rings on it or something. That'd be pretty cool. Just hang whatever I want off there. Anywho, I'm here. I'm going to take care of this appointment. I'm parking in front. Take care of this appointment, and then I'm off to the next stop. Catch up with you all in a bit. Yeah, and they said the official color is metallic black, but if you look at that, that's like a gunmetal gray. It's more of a, I love it. When I got it out of the crate, I was expecting like a gloss black, but that silver flake in there is just awesome.
It's not the big flake.
Yeah. It's subtle. Yeah. Yeah. So check out. So here's the automatic. So now it's in drive. But oh wait, I messed up. I left my column locked. I always do that on cruisers. Okay, so it's in drive, but it's not going to go anywhere.
What'd you hit? The bottom?
Drive, yeah. So look at that. So it's like a scooter, but it's not a scooter because it's got a 6-speed transmission with 2 clutches. So as soon as you give it a little bit of throttle, it starts to engage the clutch.
Do you feel the shift points as you're going?
Barely. Yeah. It's super smooth. You have to drive it next time. All right. Okay, so on the road. Going through the features on this with my client back there. He's a friend as much as a client. He's a bike guy, but he hasn't had a bike in a while. He had a Valkyrie a while back. He had a Harley V-Rod. He had quite a few bikes, but he hasn't had one in a while. He took a spill, I think it was on his Harley, a couple years back, and still got the scars and the road rash on his arm to show for it, but he likes bikes. I was offering to let him ride this, but he's like, I can't, I got a meeting, I can't go ride. I'll bring it back over here and let him play with it next time. Oh, I got snubbed. Damn it. Yeah, so I was telling him about the scooter Cannonball coming up. He's been, I told him about it a while back, and he's eager to follow along, so he's been curious about that. And I told him it's going to be starting at the end of June, beginning of July for my trip. And he's like, oh yeah, send me all the info. Let me know what the Patreon link is and all that. He's gonna support the ride, so that's cool. Oh yeah, and talking about Patreon, I got my first Patreon subscriber, and I haven't even advertised it. I apologize, I don't remember the name because I just saw the email pop in this morning. But thank you to you, and I'm putting your name up on the bottom of the screen here. My first Patreon subscriber. All right, dude, fast or slow, make it up. The Patreon account has been sitting out there for months and months. I just haven't done anything with it. I've not advertised it or, you know, started petitioning people to sign up. But on that note, I'll do the shameless plugs here. Remember to like and subscribe to the videos. Leave comments down below if you like anything or you want to chat, whatever. You can reach out to me on Instagram. I don't do much on Facebook, but it does cross-post from Instagram over to Facebook. I try to look at that platform every now and then, but I find that the messaging in Instagram is easier because it's pretty much real-time. You can shoot me notes, and if I'm not writing or have my face buried in work, I'll see the ding, and I'll be happy to chat with you. But on the subscriber and sponsorship side, I do have a couple of options. If anybody likes the content, you want to donate to the channel and finance my madness, maybe giveaways and stuff like that. I've got links in my YouTube profile page, and I'll try to throw some of them up here. I've got Buy Me a Coffee. There's Cash App. There's 2 or 3 others besides Patreon where you can just, you know, give a one-time donation instead of, you know, being a subscriber where it's gonna ding your checking account every, you know, month for $3 or $5 or whatever that subscription is. So yeah, if you like the content, you want to donate to my trips, I would appreciate it. It helps me offset my my lack of work while I'm doing my playtime. But I'm trying to find a time that I can get into doing giveaways and raffles and stuff like that. I think that would be neat. Or more specifically, just product reviews, that sort of thing. Things that people are interested in seeing them, how they work, if they might work for them or not, or whatever. And I could use the subscriber funds, Patreon stuff, whatever, to buy those accessories and then give them away on the channel. You know, give them away a raffle, whatever you want to do, because, you know, it's free money essentially coming in for those things, and if I can donate it back to the community and create a fun little play pool for us, then hey, great, I'm all for it. I don't have any aspirations of having a huge channel and doing bike giveaways like Yami Noob and some of the other big players out there, but hey, you never know. Could get there eventually. They're what I term professional YouTubers and professional content creators and influencers, because that's their job, that's what they do. I'm just doing this as a hobby. Kudos to them, man. If you can turn something like that, hobby, into a lucrative career, that's awesome. Congratulations. Anyway, I don't know how much more battery is left in this camera, so it's likely to croak here very soon. I'll give on any closing thoughts are already done here for this part of the ride, and see what goes after that.
Hit your nose. Oh, I'm still recording. What do you know? Figured this battery would have pooped out by now. Yeah, there's somebody else in the intersection down the shite. Woman was looking right at me and still rolling, and then at the last second, oh, there's something else there. Yeah, that's what this bright headlight is. It's another moving vehicle. Genius. Okay, I'll arrive for my office stop here, and then I will be heading back out on the road to another client site in a couple of hours. So, bid you all farewell. Might catch up with you at the next leg. Okay. Howdy. Okay, well, headed out for my afternoon part of my commute down to the Stafford area. I'll be down there until probably 8 or 9 tonight. We'll see how long that takes. A bunch of network and server cleanup to do. Ugh. Oh, I did it again. Keep forgetting I'm locking my column. Very good idea to lock the column. I just keep forgetting that I've done it. One of these days I'll learn, huh? Haven't had a cruiser in so long, I forget. So, my camera is acting up today, so I don't know how much of my morning ride I got. I might be repeating myself here. But I got my first Patreon subscriber today, just out of the blue, because I have not advertised that account or put any content up there or anything. And a nice gentleman by the name of Jeff Wells in Kansas dropped me a note and signed up as my first Patreon subscriber, asking questions about his Ryker 600 suspension. So I gave him a lengthy reply, and a big thank you for supporting a channel that has 0 content on it. That was pretty nice. So I'll try to start uploading some content to my Patreon site soon, and it's probably going to be a little along the same lines of what I've got here, obviously, you know, on YouTube, but how shall we say, a little more unfettered, unedited. Thinking about calling it quasi-motard off the chain. I think we have a car accident here. That's a bad place to stop. Not sure what they're doing. We got, what, 1, 2, 3 cars all stopped here in the middle. So that content will be a whole lot more open, I hope. You know, just less editing, kind of be myself a little bit. Drop a few colorful expletives here and there, don't know. Not have to worry so much about
advertiser metrics and that sort of thing, because the content on Patreon or any of the subscription type channels or accounts, whatever you want to call them, there's no advertising on that, because I'll publish those and make sure monetization is turned off. You know, like YouTube's videos are monetized through advertiser money, and then the content can also be a little bit more, you know, natural, let's say. Oh, geez, this is just a moving disaster here. And of course, this asshole is going to try to step in on top of me. Unbelievable. She can see what's going on, and she's going to add to the problem. Complete shyster. Where was I? Besides dealing with oblivious, blind, and disabled cagers. Yeah, so content on the paid side will be because people want to watch anything that I'm producing. You know, I'm trying to join in the fun for whatever it is I'm doing, and I totally appreciate that. And they will not have to endure unsolicited advertisements, because they are choosing to be there, you know what I mean? I also have a locals.com account that I haven't done anything with. I opened that up right around in February when we had our big freeze here, and I just haven't done anything with it since then. Alright, this is starting to get on my nerves. Got everybody closing in on me from every angle. Nobody wants to get the hell out of the way. I'm getting the hell out of the way before they end up hitting me. Jesus. Parade of geniuses this afternoon. Drive, 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 keep driving, 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 yes, driving. Now, back there in that exchange, I had cars closing in on every angle of me. I had it coming in 3 different directions, all of them getting within 5 feet of me at the same time. No thanks. You can all F yourselves. Cagers took their stupid pills before they got out today. If you're gonna get in there, get in there. Nope, just thinking about it. Okay. Keep thinking about it on your time, not on mine. I don't think so. Nothing but stupid rolling today. It's not like I'm Mario Andretti here or something. I'm going barely the speed limit, but everybody's smoking this afternoon. I've heard of skunk weed before, but maybe they're all smoking stupid weed. Wow, it is just a parade of stupidity this afternoon. Yep, definitely one of those days. It's 2:15, 2:30 in the afternoon, and we've got stopped traffic in the main lanes of Beltway 8. Not a good situation at all. I don't want to be at the back of the line, thank you. That was abrupt. Caught the DCT between two gears, right between second and third, and it kind of like, oh. Never felt that one before. Set it in standard mode, see if it does that again. Might be something to do with that custom user mode that I'm in right now with the lowest setting on the DCT. I forgot to mention, when I set out, I'm using my Beeline Moto a lot more now after the firmware and software update, firmware for the device, software on the phone. It seems to be behaving itself a whole lot better now. And I'm actually using it this time to rely on it for my directions to get to my client site. I've been to this location a long time ago, but it's been probably 6 or 7 years, and I can't really recall exactly where they are. So I plugged in the address, and I'm going to let Beeline lead me there. See how it works. So 1 mile, and yeah, I guess it's just right down here to 1 mile. Doesn't give me another turn indication, just 1 mile. Guy in front of me is smoking weed. Big time hooch coming out of that car. Yeah, but this new jacket that I got has a lot less mesh. Oh, I don't see a yellow light, do you? I don't see anything. Just blink, it didn't happen. This jacket does not have nearly as much mesh as my other ones, so in this hot sun it's black instead of a lighter gray color, and it doesn't breathe as well. So whew, man, sitting still at the stoplights in the blazing sun gets a little toasty. Okay, 4/10 of a mile. 472 feet. Okay, well that's got to be it right there, huh? Yeah. Maybe, yeah. It says it's behind me now. It went from 127 feet to behind me. How does that work? Yeah, 436 feet, 430. Yeah, so it went from 400 feet to 100 feet the other direction. 344 feet, 328 feet. Oh, let's see how accurate you are. Yep, this is it, I remember. It's been a while. Okay, well, I will shut the vlog down now and check back in with you for my ride home tonight, probably well after dark. But I think I'm going to put my bike right over here in the shade. Okay, catch up with you all in a little bit. Okay, well, welcome back to my afternoon, or my early evening in progress here. I got lucky and this was not as big of an ordeal as we had hoped, or thought rather. I'd hoped that it wouldn't be a big deal, and it turned out to not be so bad. I don't mind working and making money, but don't really like staying out past 8 or 9 o'clock at night chasing gremlins if I don't have to. Anywho, so it's a very balmy 90 degrees out here now, and I am headed back to Katy. 91, yeah, it's pretty warm out here. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get over the wanting to push the cruise control button instead of the kill switch up here to start the bike. It's so alien to me. It's the first bike I've had that's set up in that way. Okay, so now I get to go play in rush hour traffic because it is 5 o'clock, 4:55 according to that clock. Had quite a few near misses and imbecile cagers to avoid on my way here. Hopefully my return trip is a little less dramatic. So, using Beeline to route me home again. I know where I'm going, but I want to see how accurate it is on my path. I don't think that Beeline takes traffic into account. I'm not really sure what their back-end calculation engines are. I would assume that they're probably using the Google APIs for Google Maps, but I haven't found any settings in the app that do routing preferences or anything like that yet. I may have just overlooked them, I don't know. I haven't seen them in there. So it would be nice if it were doing smart calculation like Waze and Google Maps does whenever there's congestion, and it kind of sends you down the fastest path instead of just the map path, which might be road closed for all we know. I would normally be listening to music on my way home, but I did not charge my Cardo Pack Talk in the last several rides, and it's dead. Battery, she is kaput. $8.23 miles now. Consumption. Consumption A, 39.9. I've been trying to ride pretty nice, but it seems like my fuel economy is dropping now, just because I'm probably beating it harder than I did during its break-in period. Stop and go, it seems like it slurps a decent amount of fuel. My back road ride a few days ago that I did on it, got like 44 or 46, pretty good. I hope you're turning right. If you're not turning right, it's going to hurt a lot. Traded one parking lot for another. This is where I filter. I'm not waiting behind a bunch of ignoramuses that can't figure out how to merge in. It's just going to get me hit from behind. That's how it's done, people. Everybody jockeying for position instead of just getting the hell out of the way. And these guys are playing games here. This guy's being an intentional dick. Just drive. attention.
Look at this tool. He's the guy that was causing all the problem back there, intentionally blocking people instead of just merging and getting the hell out of the way. Tailgating, being hyper aggressive for no damn reason at all. Just a dick to be a dick.
Whew, it is steamy today, man. 90 degrees and 80-some% humidity. It is a little warm. Houston's weather's pretty quick to get hot in the spring. We have a few weeks of nice temperate riding weather here in the spring and in the fall, but the rest of the year it's just hot.
Guy in front of me smoking weed. I'm getting sprinkled on too. I don't know if they're washing their windshield or what. It's funny how many smells you have when you're out in the air on a motorcycle. It's very rare to notice those things when you're in a car. It's got to take a pretty strong smell like, you know, skunk or something, you know, your windows down. You might catch a whiff of something every now and then, but on a bike, man, you can tell people are smoking 3 cars up. And the stinky ganja has a unique smell to it. It's pretty obvious when somebody's smoking hooch. Oh, veto. That's a line of traffic. But he's got their convertibles out today. I had a little Miata just like that one, white. 2001, I guess it was. 2001, 2004, I can't remember. Oh, neat little car. Little go-kart.
Pick your lane up, pick mine. My lane's faster.
So I should be receiving my Coffman's Shorty exhaust any day now. Amazon, or the seller, whoever, Coffman's, sent it out through U.S. Postal Service, which kind of sucks, but it'll get here. They estimated the delivery date as April 8th through 12th, but I saw the tracking information and it said that it was very close, and I think it said out for delivery today or tomorrow, so I might be able to swap out this giant barnacle of an exhaust for the Coffman Shorty for this weekend. Play around with it a little bit, do a sound test, and I don't know if I'll leave it on there for any length of time until I get a flash tune for this, because I'm not 100% sure if that exhaust has the catalyst in it or not. I pulled it off. I started doing the video a couple days ago because I was going to pull the Coffmans off of my 500F, and I couldn't get it off. It's been on there too long, and I used some Permatex copper gasket maker to put that monkey on, and it's on there. This doesn't want to come off. So I abandoned that. But when I had the exhaust off of this, it has one of those graphite gaskets, ring gaskets down there on the exhaust flange, and I looked at the back of the can and it didn't say anything about catalyst. It just had you know, the noise emission standards and blah blah, all this. So
the little resonator pipe that's in the middle might be the catalyst. I don't know. If anybody knows how that exhaust is set up, let me know. If it's not getting rid of the catalyst by taking off this pipe and just using a little slip-on, then I won't need to flash tune this thing because the difference in back pressure with just the exhaust itself is not going to be that big a deal. But if I'm removing the cat, then yes, I do need to flash it because it'll run a little bit too lean. You're in my way, fella. Get all the way over to one side. Don't sit there in the middle. Okay, well, home again, home again. Another work day gone, commute done. I am going to eat. I'm hungry. And have a beer or two or 5. I don't drink that much, but I've gotten to where whenever I'm working outside or in the evenings when I've got nothing else to do, I'll kick back 3 or 4 of them. Not to get tipsy or drunk or anything, because I'm not a cheap drunk. I'm German, Irish. My liver processes that stuff out so fast, I never get buzzed. I just like the taste of Dos Equis. I'll drink it like water if I can. Hey, boys. You gonna bark? You gonna howl? Huh? Huh? Howl. Huh? Come on. Come on. You're getting lazy. You're getting lazy. Come on. You can do it. You're getting fat too. You need a doggy bra. I'll catch y'all later.